ever get that feeling, that feeling, like when you've lost a puzzle piece? And it's not just any piece. It's like the key piece right in the middle, the one that kind of throws the whole picture off.
It's amazing how these little mysteries can really send you down a rabbit hole.
That's what astronomers have been dealing with. But their puzzle is the outer solar system.
And the missing piece.
Yeah, that's where the hunt for Planet X comes in.
You see, it's not about having all the answers in science. It's about recognizing where the gaps are.
Yeah.
What's missing, and what those gaps might reveal. It's those unexpected discoveries that often lead to the biggest breakthroughs.
Exactly. We're diving into one of those intriguing mysteries today, using this timeline we found from Rediscovered Astronomy.
Oh, I love that site. Always something interesting.
Right. So get this. This whole thing about a Planet X started way back in the 1700s with Uranus.
Ah, Uranus.
Acting a little gored off.
Well, Uranus was always a bit of a rebel, wasn't it? I mean, think about it. It wasn't even recognized as a planet at first.
That's right. People just didn't know what they were looking at.
And then once astronomers figured out what it was, its orbit, the way it was moving, it really threw a wrench into our understanding of the solar system. Like something wasn't adding up.
So they started thinking something must be pulling on it. Something big. Something we couldn't see.
Precisely. Like an invisible dance partner tugging Uranus off course. And that's where this whole idea of Planet X first popped up.
A hidden world lurking out there in the darkness beyond Uranus, messing with its orbit.
And the amazing thing is they didn't just guess, right? It wasn't just, oh, something's off, must be a planet. Mathematicians like Urbain Le Verrier, brilliant minds, they used those tiny wobbles in Uranus's orbit, those anomalies.
To actually calculate where this phantom planet should be? Come on, that's incredible.
It really is. Almost like they were solving a cosmic equation with only half the numbers. And get this, those calculations, they led to the discovery of Neptune in 1846, almost exactly where Le Verrier predicted it would be.
Talk about finding a needle in a haystack.
Right.
Or should I say, a planet in the solar system.
It's mind-blowing.
It really is. You'd think that would be the end of it, right? Mystery solved. We found our missing mass. Case closed.
You'd think so, wouldn't you? Discovering Neptune was a huge win for Newtonian physics. But
There's always a but, isn't there?
it didn't quite explain everything about Uranus's orbit. There were still some discrepancies. Plus, other little anomalies started popping up elsewhere in the outer solar system.
Like whispers of something else out there.
Exactly. It seems the universe wasn't quite done with its game of hide and seek.
And that brings us to 1930 and the discovery of Pluto.
Ah, Pluto, the underdog.
Everyone thought, this is it. This is the answer. The missing piece to our cosmic puzzle.
Yeah. Well, Pluto turned out to be a bit of a letdown, size-wise at least.
It was just too small.
Way too small to have the gravitational muscle to be causing all those orbital disturbances they were seeing.
Right, because gravity, it's all about mass.
Exactly. Think of it like this. Imagine trying to move a bowling ball by blowing on it.
Okay, I can picture that.
Pluto, well, it turned out Pluto was more like a ping pong ball trying to push that bowling ball around.
So, finding Pluto. Not the grand finale everyone was hoping for.
More like an unexpected plot twist.
So the search for Planet X continued. But here's the thing that gets me.
What's that?
If there is a planet out there big enough to cause these gravitational disturbances,
Yeah.
shouldn't we have found it by now?
Well, that's the thing about space, right? It's huge. I mean, it's mind-bogglingly huge.
It's bigger than we can even...
Not fathom.
Yeah.
We're not talking about finding a needle in a haystack.
Right.
We're talking about finding a needle in a haystack the size of a galaxy.
Okay.
Even with our best telescopes, even with everything we've got, a planet that far out would be unbelievably faint and hard to see.
So it's not even just about size, it's about how much light it's reflecting back at us.
Exactly.
Okay, but something tells me astronomers wouldn't just give up that easily.
No, you're absolutely right. And this is where things take another really, really interesting turn.
Okay, I'm all ears.
So picture this: 2003 astronomers discover this icy rock way out there, way beyond Pluto.
Okay.
And they name it Sedna. And Sedna's orbit, let's just say it throws everyone for a loop.
Okay, paint me a picture here. What's so strange about Sedna's orbit?
Imagine a comet, right? But instead of like a quick trip around the sun,
Yeah.
it takes Sedna like 11,400 years to make one loop around the sun.
Oh my gosh.
And here's the kicker at its farthest point. Sedna is 940 times farther from the sun than Earth is.
Wow.
940 times.
That is a long distance relationship.
It's crazy. To put that in perspective, like, if you imagine the Earth as a marble right here,
Okay.
Sedna would be like a grain of sand, barely visible on the other side of a football field.
That is impossible to even wrap your head around.
It's wild, and it just screams that something had to give Sedna a gravitational kick. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like a cosmic billiards game.
Exactly, like something whacked it and sent it on this crazy elongated journey.
So are we talking Planet X again? Is this our missing mass?
Well, Sedna's discovery definitely breathed new life into the Planet X theory because, it really begged the question, what could possibly fling something that far out there?
Right, it has to be something massive.
Exactly, and it gets even more interesting. Remember, a few years later, 2012 VP-113 was discovered.
Oh yeah, 2012 VP-113. That rolls right off the tongue.
Catchy, right? But astronomers gave it a bit more of a, user-friendly nickname, Biden.
Biden?
Yeah. Apparently, it was discovered around the same time that Biden was announced as vice president.
Oh, I see. I get it.
So anyway, Biden, this little guy, it also has this really, really elongated orbit. Similar to Sedna's, which again makes you wonder what's out there influencing these objects in this way.
Okay, so we've got two cosmic breadcrumbs leading us in a similar direction. That's got to make you wonder what else is out there.
Absolutely. So what could it be? Well, one idea that's been around for a while is this really interesting hypothesis called the nemesis hypothesis.
Nemesis, like the archenemy.
Exactly. Picture this. Our sun has a long-lost twin.
What?
A much smaller, dimmer star way out in the boonies of the solar system.
So like a stellar sibling rivalry.
Kind of. The idea is that Nemesis, this theoretical twin, is out there somewhere, and its gravitational pull every once in a while stirs up the outermost reaches of the solar system.
Okay, so Nemesis is the one messing with Sedna and Biden.
That's the theory. It's like Nemesis comes by every so often and just kind of shakes things up gravitationally, flinging comets and icy objects like Sedna into these weird and wacky orbits.
I've heard about this. Some people even think Nemesis might be responsible for those periodic comet showers that have been linked to mass extinctions here on Earth.
Right. Talk about holding a grudge.
That's one way to settle a sibling rivalry.
But in all seriousness, there are some issues with the Nemesis theory.
Oh, really? Like what?
Yeah. Well, the biggest one is we haven't actually found any direct evidence of Nemesis. We're talking about a very, very faint, very, very distant object if it exists. And even with our most powerful telescopes, it's like trying to find a specific snowflake in a blizzard.
Yeah, that's not easy.
Not easy at all. So while it's an intriguing idea for now, Nemesis remains just that, an idea.
Okay, so finding Nemesis is proving to be a pretty big challenge, to say the least. What's the other big theory, then? What else could explain these distant, oddly orbiting objects?
Well, that brings us back to our friend Planet X. But this time, instead of a dim companion star, we're talking about a large hidden planet lurking way beyond Pluto. And we're not just talking about something the size of Pluto. We could be talking about something bigger than Earth.
Okay, now that's what I'm talking about. A supersized mystery planet, that definitely ups the stakes. But hold on, if it's really that big, how have we missed it? It's like we took a wrong turn somewhere in the cosmic neighborhood, and now we're lost, trying to retrace our steps.
Yeah.
But instead of landmarks, we've got these gravitational anomalies.
It's more like being a detective at a cosmic crime scene, you know?
Oh, I like that. A cosmic crime scene. Okay, so we've got our clues.
We've got Sedna, Biden.
Right. These objects behaving badly. Their orbits are like the chalk outline telling us something big went down here.
And we're trying to figure out what was the weapon, what caused this, what left its mark on these objects.
So how do we use these clues, these weird orbits, to track down our suspect, this elusive Planet X?
This is where things get really interesting. Because now we're bringing in the big guns, the supercomputers.
Oh yeah, I was reading about this. Some serious number crunching going on here.
Exactly. Our article talks about these astronomers, Carlos and Raul de la Fuente. They're basically building simulations of the outer solar system, trying to recreate the conditions that would lead to these bizarre orbits.
So it's like a cosmic game of Sim Planet. But instead of building cities, we're trying to figure out how to fling a dwarf planet a few billion miles off course.
You got it. And what's amazing is that these simulations, they're not just random guesses, they're actually giving us some pretty specific parameters.
Like what?
Their models suggest that if Planet X is out there, and that's a big if, it's likely to be several times more massive than Earth.
Okay, so not just some rocky leftover, we're talking a super Earth.
Potentially. And it gets better or weirder, depending on how you look at it. These models also suggest this planet could be orbiting hundreds of astronomical units away from the sun.
Hold on, back up a second. Astronomical units. Remind me what that even means.
Right, sorry. 1 astronomical unit is the distance between the Earth and the sun. So we're talking hundreds of times that distance.
So this thing is way, way out there. No wonder we haven't spotted it.
It's like trying to spot a firefly against the backdrop of a fireworks display.
Talk about a cosmic needle in a haystack.
It's definitely a challenge, but these models, these simulations, they're giving us a much better idea of where to look.
So we've got our best cosmic detectives on the case. They've got the technology, they got the data. But I have to ask, are they convinced? Is everyone on board with this whole Planet X idea?
That's an important point, because in science, it's not enough to just have a cool theory.
You've got to have the evidence.
Exactly. And right now, the evidence for Planet X is still circumstantial. We've got all these pieces of the puzzle pointing to the same answer, but we're still missing that one key piece to make it all fit.
So it's still a mystery. Still a question mark at the edge of our solar system.
For now, yeah. But that's what makes astronomy so exciting. We're constantly pushing the boundaries of what we know, what we can see.
And who knows? Maybe someday we'll have that aha moment. We'll point our telescopes at just the right spot, and there it'll be Planet X in all its glory.
That would be incredible. It would change everything we thought we knew about our place in the universe.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? If Planet X is out there, what else might be lurking in the darkness? What other mysteries are waiting to be uncovered?
And that's the beauty of science. It's not about having all the answers, but about asking the right questions.
Well, folks, there you have it. The mystery of Planet X. A cosmic detective story that's still being written.
We've gone from wobbly orbits to hidden giants, from a hypothetical companion star to the possibility of a whole new class of planets lurking in the outer reaches of our solar system.
And the search continues. Who knows what we'll find next? If you want to delve even deeper into this fascinating topic, and trust me, you do, check out the full article from Rediscovered Astronomy. It's got everything we talked about and more, plus some stunning images that'll really blow your mind. You can find the link in our show notes.
Until next time, keep looking up and never stop exploring the wonders of the cosmos.